What up? It's your boy T-Bear in reaction. Hot takes, get your hot takes. It is hot takes times. And the title is I'm Sorry Roman Reigns. I haven't heard that for towards him in a while. But excuse me, there's a reason why he's saying this. I caught glimpse from their face from the thumbnail and this. It just folks, I know folks just do not like faces or what. It's the deal is I don't know why it's so much downplays toward faces than heels, man. It's not even funny. Like it's ridiculous at this point. Like folks would downplay a face more than a heel nowadays, man. It's like these days it's like every day it won't surprise me if there's a wrestling fan who want a roster full of heels, man. I'm trying to get my mic doesn't stand still. Give me a second. I'm bad. I feel like my mic stand about to slide off again. But anyway, I swear I feel like people want a roster full of heels these days. But anyway, let's get it going.
The first hot take in this video comes from my friend who says that Roman as a face is ass. And I don't know about ass, but I do want to say that I think Roman's face turn has been a little disappointing, but I don't know if we need to blame Roman for that. I think it has more so to do with the booking. I feel like the Bloodline story has been going on way too long, and unfortunately his return as a babyface as well as the entire run has kind of been injected into that storyline, and a lot of it is just kind of repetitive at this point. I think we got to get to Roman and The Rock. That is a feud that needs to happen ASAP, because right now I'm hoping that Roman does not face Solo Sikoa at
Hey, here we go. First thing I gotta check the quality, because having auto right now is acting and I think my internet range is acting funny, so I can't even have it on auto right now. Anyway, let's keep going.
WrestleMania. That would be kind of disappointing. The next hot take comes from Gabe, who says that Roman ain't top 10. Bro's career started in 2020, and I guess I understand the point they're trying to make, that Roman was kind of bad before 2020 and after turning heels when he really got things going. But I would say we can't throw away everything that happened with the Shield days as well as the Big Dog run. Even though the fans did not love him before 2020, he still had a lot of bangers, he still had a lot of good feuds, and he still had half the crowd cheering for him, even though they were just women and children. I think Roman is definitely in the top 10, especially after that storyline. And even if you take away everything before 2020, I think Roman is still in the top 10 just for that legendary run that we won't ever see again. Staying on the topic of the Bloodline, and Will says that Jey Uso reunited with Roman and Jimmy way too soon. I agree. I think they kind of pulled the trigger way too fast. This is something that could have taken months. For example, like Rey Mysterio finally hitting his son Dominic Mysterio. That moment really felt special because it took so long to get there. So yeah, I kind of agree with this, but I also understand that they want to have war games with Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman, and then most likely Sami Zayn teaming up together. So I understand the purpose behind it. But yeah, maybe they could have started things off a little bit earlier. Martin says that Tangaloa should be the tribal chief, and honestly, he is at this.
Hell no. Right now, he's like Brian Scalabrine. Right now, they treat him like a Hall of Famer, where he's not have Hall of Famer skills or something like that. So it's like it's a parody at this point with Tangaloa. It's not even funny. It's just, I mean, it's funny, but it's like a meme with Tangaloa. It's just that's what it is. But hell no.
This point, this man deserves to win the WWE Championship next. I think you should book him versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Forget Roman, forget everything I said. Tangaloa versus The Rock.
I'll play too much.
Speaking of The Rock, Kevin says that the final boss Rock might end up aging better than the Hollywood Rock. And I love Hollywood Rock. I think it's one of the most special things and special runs we've seen from The Rock or any wrestler ever. It was great stuff. It was very entertaining, but the final boss Rock is something we've never seen ever in pro wrestling. Maybe the closest thing to it was.
That's my case though. I said like they're downplay babyfaces more than heels. You see how he's raving over the heel character. There was both the Hollywood Rock character and the final boss character, heel characters. But not too long ago, the guy was ragging on Roman's face from being ass though, like kind of like what's up with that?
Vince McMahon. But then again, Vince wasn't the wrestler that The Rock is. The Rock legitimately has power and does whatever he wants and drops F-bombs left and right.
He does.
So I do think the final boss Rock, when it's all said and done, especially after this feud with Cody Rhodes and then Roman Reigns, will be one of the greatest runs we've seen from anyone in professional wrestling. Brandon says that Randy being the mastermind behind Kevin's heel turn would be a great storyline, and I gotta admit that is a fire idea. I hope it happens. Randy needs to turn heel, and a feud between Randy and Cody would be so cool. I wouldn't even mind if Randy screws Cody out of the WWE Championship and Kevin wins it, even if Cody wins it back a couple weeks or a month later. And now moving on to Kevin Owens, Storn says that Kevin Owens is a top 10 all-time wrestler
I would say
in
somewhat.
WWE. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that is not the case at all. I can think of maybe 50 to 75 other people that I would say are above Kevin Owens. Maybe he cracks the top 75 for all I know. But
He definitely do
he's
that at
definitely
least.
not in the top 10. I love Kevin Owens. I think he's a great performer, but he's not a top 10. Ant-Man says that Cena Rock 3 needs to happen at some point in his farewell tour. I completely disagree. I think the face-off at WrestleMania was everything we needed. We do not need another Cena and Rock match, especially because nobody really wanted Cena versus Rock 2. The first one was great. The second one, nobody wanted. The third one, I mean, I think more people would enjoy it, but still, at the end of the day, I think it would be wasting a match between The Rock and John Cena. Let them face new people. Ball Hands says that Zach Allen has more in-ring talent than John Cena, and that is just not the case at all. Zach had
Really?
a pretty good run with the WWE,
did,
but he's nowhere near
but
close
nah.
as John Cena in that ring. A lot of people underrate John Cena and his wrestling ability, but 2015 John Cena proved us otherwise.
Right.
Zane says that Wade Barrett should be the last opponent of John Cena, and I don't know why you would come up with this. Like, I guess I understand the fact that they had a feud in 2010, but that feud was kind of ass. John Cena buried Wade Barrett, and so there's just no reason to do this at all.
I won't say that's physical ass, but
versus
still.
Drew McIntyre. That's the feud I want.
That's true, yeah.
Relish says that Cody deserves to be Gunther to stay credible. To me, it does not really matter. I think both Cody and Gunther could win the match, and it doesn't matter because they're both world champions. They're both very credible wrestlers, so whoever wins, wins. I think Gunther's going to most likely win. Speaking of Gunther, Camp says that Gunther is a transitional champion, and that's, I didn't know. I don't.
You know, it's a heel. I don't roll with him, but I doubt that as well too. Like, I don't think it's I definitely disagree with that. Like, come on now, I definitely disagree with that.
I don't think that's the case at all. Gunther is going to hold that championship until WrestleMania, and you know who he's going to fight? Either John Cena or Brock Lesnar, and I have no problem with that at all. The next hot take says that Uncle Howdy should win the Royal Rumble and then dethrone Gunther, and that's an interesting idea, but I hope that WWE does not book that at all because I don't want to see it. I just, to me, Uncle Howdy does not need a WWE championship. I think he's more of a wrestler who's just got to have feuds and whatnots. You know, just good storylines. The Unknown One says that WWE should also do more face versus face and heel versus heel storylines, and I completely disagree. I know there's a lot of people that say that they should, but to me, every story, every movie, every book, you gotta have a good guy and you gotta have a bad guy. So I don't agree with this hot take at all. I think you've gotta have the traditional face versus heel because
Let's say.
I think that is just the art of storytelling. That's like one of the basic rules when it comes to telling a story.
I will say that I said, and the great thing I said this too. Like, I was kind of on a video about this. But first thing first, I'm not sure why he disagreed with, but I agree with it as well too. Or as far as face versus face though, I hate. It's like it's too cliche that somebody got turned heel when it comes to a face, or it should have to be a whole heel turn out of nowhere. Just for a match as well too, because you see a lot of that going on. And I guess if you're a heel fan, vice versa, somebody that just have to fully turn face, do it, just keep it heel versus heel, whatever. They kind of did it with Jada Parker and Roxanne, but they try to have Jada Parker turn face, and then they revert back to her being a heel again. As far as face versus face. Is a good amount of folks they try to get to turn heel, but fans love too much. They get to big face. So yeah, and without saying that, I love how TNA work with this dynamic though as well too. Face versus face, heel versus heel, mainly face versus face. face versus face, because a lot of face versus face matches like this, like both of the world title match, the top title matches for TNA were face versus face, and even the TNA Impact, the TNA episode before Bound for Glory, um, they had him in the signing and ended up attacking the supposed special guest ref who's a heel instead of, because he's trying to start a pot. So I get why you don't want it, because you want the storyline for a good story. But on the other hand, I don't mind face versus face though, like for both guys. And heel for heel, that's another story. But completely honest, I'd rather just get rid of the alignment system. Just get rid of it, because folks not abide by as much as well too. They're not. And number two, it gives a lot of fans like myself more freedom to root for it. They want to without guilt free and not thinking about others getting the wrong idea about you as well too, unless there's a reason. Other than that, though, yeah, I really rather them just get rid of the line system in general. But it's that's a miracle that happens, so it's not happening. But at the same time, I will say that a face versus face, and for the Hill Fiends, a Hill versus Hill is not bad.
Sean says that WWE should not have a Mania outside of North America. This is another hot take that I'm going to have to disagree with, because
Right.
I think that we need to see WrestleMania in the UK.
That'll
epic.
be so
They would
epic.
lose their mind, and it would be one of the best crowds ever. So I have no problem with WWE booking WrestleMania over there. Zane says that if Mark Henry's Hall of Pain run had lasted a bit longer, he could have been considered the greatest big man in WWE history. And then we have Shawnee, who says that Mark Henry is in fact the best big man in WWE history. And who do I agree with? I say that I agree with Zane. I think Mark Henry's one of the best, but I don't think he is
Not the best. He's
best
definitely
big
one
man.
of the best.
I think
He's
Big
one of the
Show
best.
still holds that title, but I do agree with the fact that if the Hall of Pain did last longer, he could have made an argument for being one
I'll
of the
let
best
that
big men
one-
ever.
yeah, I'll have
Mark
that.
Henry was definitely ahead of his time, and the WWE did not treat him like the beast he should have been treated like back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Moving on from best big men, BVR says that Kane is the best monster in WWE history, and when you put Kane up against people like The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, especially, you know, the Fiend character and all these other great characters, I still give it to Kane. I think Kane is indeed the best monster
Facts.
in wrestling history, with like the scary, spooky stuff. Kane wins that title, at least the mask Kane, in my opinion. Barca fan says that WWE failed AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Shinsuke Nakamura. They definitely did not fail AJ Styles at all.
Right.
This man was carrying SmackDown for a couple of years in 2016 through 2018 and had very nice WWE Championship runs. So they did not fail AJ Styles. But as for Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura, I can't lie, they did indeed fail both of these guys. And I think both Finn and Shinsuke Nakamura have failed under Triple H as well as Vince. So it's kind of a shame. Hopefully their careers can turn around. I thought
Hopefully
Shinsuke's
so.
was when he had that whole run in 2023, but they kind of did nothing with him.
Hopefully
And
he
as for
does.
Finn Balor, I don't know about this new Judgment Day. It's
Just
just
give
not
him-
putting it out for me. Speaking
For Finn, just get him away from Judgment Day. Bring back his old theme when we used to go. Oh, oh, I miss it. So bring it back. Anyway, Finn Balor is so elevated that he should have won a Universal title in 2021.
of Finn Balor, Matthew says that Finn Balor
Whoa,
is so
I'm not
underrated
sure
that
who
he
he
should have won the Universal title in 2020.
He was part of Judge Day was the part thing at the time. So that's that. And then yeah.
And actually said the same thing back in 2021, but I'm glad that WWE did not listen to any of us, because we wouldn't have gotten that legendary Roman Reigns title run. So Finn Balor should not have won the Universal title. And Rash says that it's time for the Prince Finn Balor to win the IC title, and I have no problem with that at all. I honestly prefer Finn Balor being the IC champion over Braun Breaker, just because I think that Finn Balor deserves it right now. He's in a big faction, and also Finn Balor, you know, if he can't have the WWE or the World Championship, give him something, the mid-card championship.
Right.
He also looks good with the white IC title belts. Leo says that TV is better than live shows, and as someone who's went to over 50 live shows, I gotta say that I agree. At this point, I do not.
Depends on it well too. I will say it depends. Live show, I like to say, I don't mind a live show going to the wrestling live, but it's sometimes good to sit there and listen to the commentary. You know, live show you don't hear no commentary and stuff like that. So there's that, and the commentary on TV is gold. So yeah.
Not like going. I prefer being at home and watching everything from my TV. So I gotta agree with Leo. But if you haven't gone, you should definitely go at least 3 or 4 or 5 times or something like that. The next hot take says that Rollins needs that WrestleMania match with Punk more than Punk does, and I've gotta agree. I think that CM Punk could honestly wrestle anyone. He could wrestle Gunther, John Cena, he could wrestle Roman Reigns. There's so many possibilities for him at WrestleMania. He does not really need Rollins, but Rollins, especially if he wants a main event, needs CM Punk. And the last hot take from Rebecca says that Carlito desperately needs a push. I don't think there's a single soul outside of Rebecca wanting this, but hey, I respect the fact that you are a Carlito fan and this is your opinion. Anyways, that is it for the Rebecca wanting this, but hey, I respect the fact that you are a Carlito fan and this is your opinion.
I'm trying to get back
4
to
or
it.
5 times or something like that. The next hot take says that Rollins needs that WrestleMania. There's so many possibilities for him at WrestleMania. He does not really need Rollins, but Rollins, especially if he wants a main event, needs CM Punk. And the last hot take from Rebecca says that Carlito desperately needs a...
We'll see. We'll see about that. Other than that, they'll do some good hot takes as well, too, though. But I kind of got an example from Pllana himself and many others. Like I said, they loved it. They downplayed the baby faces so much, but those in bad eye or have nothing but BS to say about the Hills though, for real. But other than that, if you like my reaction to these hot takes, like, share, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.